Hi, and I'm Andy RC, and welcome to my RC channel. Tonight, on Let's Drone Out, we are joined by Andy RC.
Hello.
Hey! We're also joined by Pause.
Oh, that's me. Hello, welcome to my RC channel.
We're joined by Andrew Snashrank.
Hello.
And Tony needs one of these.
Bonjour. I don't know why I do this. This is Curry Kitten's fault.
And I'm Jack, Bright Sci-Fi. How you doing? So today, the mini air show. Is that correct?
Yes, so we were planning to have the kind of mini air show pre-party next week, but then I realized that I would be kind of sitting in a corner somewhere, rocking back and forth, dribbling.
In the fetal position.
Yeah, and decided that this week would be much better, and then Jack can get it edited and up on the podcast for like before the event. So that'll be exciting. So if you're listening to this before the event, it is... hold on, let me double check this before I stick my foot in my mouth. 12th and 13th of May. So yeah, you can come along and meet all these lovely people and more.
You're trying to put them off.
Well, if they're listening to the podcast, then I figure, you know, they're our target audience. So we're going to have all sorts of things. We're going to have all the drone racing. We're going to have racing wings. We're going to have open flight lines, bring them by. We're going to have 2 massive marquees full of things and people and stuff. And what else are we going to have? We're going to have the X-Class with Fossil, as Tony is wonderfully modeling the hoodie.
We've just got our chapter done on on X-Class in the States. Have just put a post out saying first in the UK and in Europe. So pretty chuffed about that.
You've got a pretty good chance in the UK races then.
Yes, I might win.
Is that your main reason for participating in this?
Yeah, I've just got to beat Martin. And he's a little bit older than me, so I might win.
I don't think anything is possible to be older than you, Tone.
Do you want some of this? Do you want some of this?
Our
no,
website
what
doesn't...
Rich,
Dom, the website's broken again.
Oh, no.
Does anyone want to log in again? I cannot get it to work. Sorry. If you're wondering why I'm frustratedly bashing my keyboard, that is why.
What's up, Bradders? Bradders is in the chat. Bradders has got some info. Can you put it in the chat, Bradders, so everyone can see? And then I'll read it out if it's real. He knows what I mean.
I'm scared. Tony, you were telling us about you've replaced the motor.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was chatting off air. I replaced a steel motor that the thread went on them. Apparently, it's quite a common thing on the V1s, the thread goes. So I went and put a Facebook post out saying, has anyone got one? And Oscar Lang's mate had some, so I went to Brighton last night, picked some up, put a new motor on from his lot, this new bunch, and I come home and I thought, oh yeah, I put some footage on, looked at the footage, and it was terrible. Like it was just so jello-y. It was horrible. I was like, what's happened? I have changed my mount on my reverb because it was red and I wanted purple, so I changed it to a purple, got a new mount, thought it was that, and it wasn't, because I put the red one back on and it was still the same. So I come home and I haven't actually looked at the footage. I changed to another motor and I need to look at the footage to see if it's the same. I'm hoping it's not. If it is, then I'm going to have to change the bell of the original motor to one of the old motors, if you know what I mean, because that I know that motor and bearing is fine.
It doesn't mean the bell's balanced though.
No, there is that. That's just the thing. It's just such a like tiny little thing. What can throw your? It looked fine through the FPV cam, but when I played it back, it was awful. So
I can't help but mention the awful soldering attempt you did on the Zode Dart. And whenever you say I replaced the motor in future conversations, I instantly think, well, how's he done it? Has he just put a bit of tape on, or has he
I did tape it on.
just twisted wires together?
Yep, that's what I normally do. Twist the wires and then put a bit of tape over the top.
Tony, you might as well solder with a blowtorch. I'll tell you, you do a better job.
If this is pick on me time, I will go. I'm going to check poo cam while you talk amongst yourselves, and I'll ignore you.
Just stuck butter on beta again. Not sure what to think of it. It's on an F3 board. I'm using it on though, says Davy Boy. Well, if Matty Stunts is anyone to believe, then apparently it will fix all your problems. If you're going through a divorce, just flash it with Butterfly.
Yeah,
I still haven't tried it. And Andy, you got one with Butterfly already on it, didn't you?
I flew it, and I do think it's better. But what it's better at is prop wash oscillations. So you know when you say if you do like a really quick like free fall and then recover, so the copter's falling really fast and it recovers, and usually you get an oscillation when it recovers with Betafly. Seems to be better at doing at handling that, but it's very subtle, and I think a lot of people won't notice a difference. I could see a very small difference, and what I like about it is the interface is practically the same, just a couple of things that have been changed. So I don't know, be interesting to see, you know, as more people are starting to switch to it. So it's going to be an easy switch if that is the case. So have to see what everybody else thinks.
Hi, Gail. Gail's in the chat. Yeah, apparently we've got him on next week, Kalen, so we'll be able to talk a bit more about it. Because I asked Brad to ask Kalen what he thought about having RX class drone on Butterfly, and he said we should try it on Butterfly because he think it would do well on that. So I think that's going to be our next.
They've got their own flight controller, haven't they? Is it called the Helix or something like that? So I think they've developed their own flight controller, or it's one that they're just, you know, basing Butterfly around. So I think it's here to stay for now. So just to see what happens.
I have to say, maybe it's being a software developer guy, but I find that it fascinating looking at how projects evolve. And obviously, base flight to clean flight to beta flight to butterfly. It's kind of like sometimes you just imagine all these forks are just going to end up sort of fizzling out, but then something goes in it and they diversify off quite a lot, and then they sort of create their own forks from that. And it's interesting because, like, obviously beta flight at the start was just this very experimental, and I remember the amount of releases were just coming daily, and now that's the mainstay. So it's almost like butterfly is the new beta flight.
Could well be. I haven't tried it on anything yet.
Yeah,
people get, you know, all excited and everything, and you know, and then sort of as soon as something forks, that's the sort of trailblaze, as I like to call it. They sort of, you know, go, oh, sorry, I just punched my pop filter. So I visited Curry Kitten, but this week.
Oh, I've got money to go and visit Curry Kitten, but no money to go to Tony's.
Look, if I want to torture myself,
you were at Jack's house like several times. I remember watching the streams.
Yes,
yeah,
I've been to Brighton 3 times this week.
Yeah, but he only visited me once, and I got him a veggie burger as well.
I thank you.
But you know, like, I'm just the dickhead who. My argument, right, with him touching my things is he pulls things out on stream that I might not actually want people to see. That is my biggest argument.
There's a certain drawer around Jack's house that you're not allowed to open.
does my editing. Like, I can't even put that live because it's like I think I threatened to kill him several times. If anything happens to him, then I'm like #1 suspect.
Exactly. Do you know what? I can't wait to meet everyone at, in 2 weeks' time. Like, I haven't even met Curry Kitten, and he's been on a billion times. So it'd be nice to meet him, even though he's quite horrible to me, like you are, Jack. But like,
just a running.
That's what makes me like him more.
But people in the chat, like Mikey Dread, it'd be nice to meet Gail and whoever else is going to come down. It's going to be. I'm really looking forward to mostly meeting people than anything else. That's what I'm excited for.
That's what I'm looking forward for. Now, I've told people if they meet me, do their hello. So maybe people meeting Andy should like rip off their t-shirt and have just a vest on or something.
Yeah, if anyone,
or just wear a vest.
Andy RC, why don't you get some wife beaters like printed with like Andy RC like artwork on them?
I would do it. It's just time and money, you know. I don't have any of those things, although I seem to have enough time for this show somehow.
Yeah.
you poor thing.
Perhaps I should do the t-shirts and stop doing this show. No, I wouldn't do that. But no, it's a good idea. I think a lot of the big channels, that's how they progress. It's just having the manpower to do stuff like that.
Your tagline could be "Too northern to need arms."
That's how they fight, don't they? They just stick their heads in them and that, like, get right in there. No, I've seen the Northern Bro. How we didn't get in a fight? We must have seen like a bunch of like frilly tutu wearing, skipping along, holding each other's hands. Well, me and Tony were anyway.
That was just you and Frank.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm surprised I didn't cause you were having like anxiety attacks because of the like you can't act like this in a northern pub. You know? I know people here. I went to school with them.
It was more about me wanting to go back for food at a later date. when you
I can't go now because I've been in here with these idiots.
And you're them making fun of northern people, even though it was funny, not a single individual was actually from around here that you spoke to. So I think that confused you a lot. I think the person you spoke to was like from Manchester, so all of the local sort of offensive things you were saying they didn't get anyways.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
So someone Bill MRC asked in chat, who is going to fly at the mini air show? Well, everyone you can see is going to be at the mini air show. I think I'm flying at the mini air show. Any of you guys going to ever fly?
I'm buying a flying ticket, but I'm not sure what that's going to mean. There's going to be some free flight, Andy, as they're when the races are done.
Shall I go briefly through the schedule? Because I could go very deeply through the schedule, and that would be the whole hour. But I'll try and summarize it for people.
Please.
So we're going to have on the FPV side of things, we're going to have the racing. Well, let's start at the beginning. We're going to have the freestyle qualifiers in the morning, very first thing before a load of public turn up, so that we can kind of get people out of the way who may have a bit of nerves. So if you're not massively confident, don't worry. Just go along to the freestyle qualifiers. It will be fine. Art will take you through it. So that is where's that gone on my list? So the opening that at 9, closing that at 10:30, when we're gonna have a bit of a briefing, and then we're gonna have the racing starting. So that is going to be from 11 till 4. There's basically going to be lots of racing, and in between the racing, every now and again, there's a couple of workshops to get people up in the air.
Is that going to be the time that the public are let in at 11 then as well?
Yes. So, I mean, if public turn up earlier, then we'll let them in, but that's what we've been advertising is 11.
Okay.
So the racing will be from 11 till 4. And similarly, there'll be displays on the main field from 11 to 4. So we've got the Popham Aero modelers, we've got the Fossils X-Class, we've got Rupert White, we've got the University of Southampton. We've got a variety of other things, including the FPV racing wings. There'll be those happening. And then, so at 4, it switches over. So the FPV is on the main field, and that's when the racing wings and that stuff happens. And in the drone zone netted area, that's when there's going to be the tuning workshop. And then at 6, it sort of all switches again. So then we're having the open track and the drone zone track. So if you wanted to just have a bit of a fun fly around the track, then that's the time to do it. There's also going to be the pub quiz starting then. So we've got Steve Laddings coming down with probably his bus by the sounds of it.
What time does the bar open?
Whenever they feel like turning up, but before 6.
Okay, because there's some people in the chat asking what is the race format for the team racing. Can you explain that?
Can I explain the team relay racing?
Yes.
Maybe I can have a go.
A couple of people I've heard seen in the chat want to know how it works.
So there will be 12 minutes where there's four teams in every race, and there's 4 races to each round. This is going to get very messy.
I'm lost already.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a 12-minute session.
Yep.
Where you've got your team is 4 pilots. You've got 2 VTX frequencies, and you've got to get in as many laps as you can in that 12 minutes. So you've got to decide: do you try and completely wipe out a battery trying to fly for 12 minutes, which is stupid, or you're going to have to switch over? Essentially, you're going to have to decide at some point. There'll be these netted boxes. Someone's going to have to come in, someone else is going to have to go out, and you're going to have to work that out between you. And that's kind of, that strategy is what makes the race, I think.
So hang on, you've got 2 VTX frequencies, but only one person flies at once. Is that so you can do the changeover quickly?
Yes.
Ah.
So
and there's 4 teams going at the same time in this 12-minute period.
Yes. So that's the full 8 frequencies of race band being used, but only 4 at a time. So, but obviously there'll be changeover bits. So we're trying to kind of keep as many people flying as we can without having a massive noise floor. It's all FPV malarkey being messy again. So everyone, so there's 15 teams. Everyone is going to race everyone else over the course of the weekend. So there's all that being worked out.
I'd just like to explain for everyone, like, Frank has been doing this solo for a very, very long time and balancing many spinning plates.
Yeah.
So if he
also like setting up this show and all this kind of stuff. And having a day job.
Shirts.
And like health and safety and legal and insurance and all sorts of things. So yeah, I'm a bit frayed at the edges at the moment.
Yeah. So if you remember the early 90s, This Is Your Brain on Crack, where they crack open an egg and fry it in a really hot frying pan. This is Frank's brain on mini air show or mini drone show for legal reasons.
It's MA4 for legal reasons. We are Team Mini Air Show. The event is MA4.
Okay.
For all sorts of things I won't go into.
I find it quite interesting because Frank's always quite smiley and happy, and I got a feeling that there's no downward spiral. There's just this snap, and he just breaks, and there's no rebooting or anything. He's gone at that point.
Apparently, that's what happens.
Pretty much.
He gets a chainsaw out and starts like acting like that guy on Resident Evil 4 with a bag on his head.
But what I'd like to say is it's a weekend of fun. So that's what we want to make it fun. It's not like, I mean, it's going to be competitive, but the whole weekend is going to be fun, meeting people and just having FPV fun.
You guys should make an endurance race. The last to stop flying wins. The battery that lives the longest, let's say.
I can do 10 minutes on my 1600.
Yeah, miscreation said.
see.
Also, someone said, what was it? One of the Richard Warwick said, would love to see a Let's Drone Out race. Who would win?
I know that already.
No, not necessarily. Not your tune at the minute.
Shut up. I'd kick your ass.
Oh, great. He said arse at 2023.
You can say arse.
Oh, God.
It's a type of animal, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
Donkey.
there you
There
go.
you go. Carried Mary. You're quite.
It's always the one swearing at the moment. It's very interesting.
How about if
Oh,
everybody had
nearly-
to stand
might-
up, Tony? Would you
Pardon?
still win? How about if everyone had to stand up whilst flying?
Lose. I have done it, but not very good.
Maybe we should do a stand on one leg race.
That'd be good.
That would be quite funny.
Are there any prizes for the teams who are entering?
Badges. We have lots of badges.
You get a slap on the back and a well done, mate.
There's actually, we are actually having proper trophies this year, like actual trophy things that look like trophies.
Lots of badges.
But yeah, it's
Cool.
There's the prizes that Dom has organised for the video competition. So if anyone fancies really quickly editing a video in order to, so you've got to.
That's not fair.
What?
I'd like just bring our rigs down and like PC edit in the bar.
Go on. That's
Oh,
the
no.
challenge. So you've got until I think it was midday on Sunday to edit a video and get it published and send us a link, and then we're gonna send all those links off to Dom, and he's gonna pick one by 4 o'clock.
What on
Why
Sunday?
Dom though? Because like he will
Because
see
he can't be
mine.
there, and he wants to see what's going on.
He'll see mine and go, "Well, that's just Tony. I'm not letting him win."
Well, you never know.
Make a new channel.
Yeah, that's it.
And
I'll
then
call
just-
myself Cock FBV or something.
He said, "Are we allowed to get away with?" Yeah, I suppose that's
Yeah,
chicken.
it's a chicken, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh, he's pushing the limits.
I'm trying to. Go on, I know you're the editor now, so
We could always talk
Make
about
my
those
life
German
worse.
aircrafts, what they called Fokkers, aren't they?
yeah.
Or Wankel engines. That's always my favourite. What was I going to say? So stop teasing me, Curry Kitten. What's going on with my gimbal? Is it screwed?
I think that the motor's buggered. What I did after swapping the motors, Jack has, if for the benefit of everybody else, the Storm 32 gimbal, which is sort of old and didn't work. And when he was here, magically, it seemed to configure for a while and kind of work a bit, except on the roll axis. So we posted a video of this in the...
You said you did it, because I would make not comprehensive sense.
Collectively, you were there for some of it. So
I
we
was just
posted it
playing
up.
with a cat.
And nobody recognised it, and they said probably a motor. So I tried swapping the motors around; it would not initialise, and I ended up plugging it into this gimbal. This is a fakey Alex Moss thing. So I basically plugged your motors into this, and when I did that, the roll worked when I had it plugged in the roll perfectly on the good motor, but on the bad motor, it still did that little flicky thing. So I think it's a bad motor,
Okay,
essentially. But
Right.
I can't be 100% on it, but it feels like it's knackered.
fine. We'll order another motor. I can deal with that. Anything to get this fixed, working. I can wave it at Tony. He can stop moaning at me.
But I do not like that Storm 32, I have to say, because when the motors were swapped, it wouldn't go through and reinitialize, because it's like, I don't like the way that's moving. It's like, I can't, it basically says I can't initialize it, I give up. And so you see the gimbal sort of do this, and then it sort of goes, it just plops down pointlessly.
Yeah.
That sounds like Jack.
So if it doesn't work, I've got a spare one of these boards somewhere. I'll put that in instead. Maybe that will work a bit better.
I found the Storm 32s worked better than the what are they called? Alex Moss?
Yeah, anything works better than that.
Yeah.
Not-
After 2 glasses of wine and 7 pints can do a better job of stabilizing.
The thing with Storm 32 is you have to really work at it to get it good for your setup.
Yeah.
Like there's no two boards that have the same setup. You can have completely different gimbals. I got one of those to work really well. But it took a lot of reading and a lot of effort. And then a company called Zion brought out their own gimbal that just works flawlessly. So I gave up with it. So and then DJI came out and just floored everything. So
It was such a weird error, though, Andy.
What's that thing called? Sorry, Cohen.
what thing?
What did you say? The thing come out before A? What's the brand?
Oh, Zion.
Zion.
Yeah.
What, Zion?
No, hang on. Let me.
I've never heard of that before, that's all. Oh no, I'm doing the curry kitten thing. Hello. I done that
It is ZHI.
hang on. No.
He went into the fish and chip shop the other day and went,
I-
"Hello, I'd like a veggie burger." Oh,
Zion.
No. YUN. Zion. Yon.
UN gimbal.
Yeah, they're not cheap. What was it called? The one for, because they do like really expensive ones for like DSLRs, but they do one for a GoPro.
I'm buying a GoPro tomorrow morning.
Oh my word. You're kidding me. They're like 232 quid.
Yeah,
I'm buying a
yeah.
session tomorrow.
yeah, they're not cheap, but they work. It's actually the gimbal that's on the Hubsan X4 Pro,
Yeah.
the gimbal one. And out of every gimbal I've tried, it's the only one that I could say just works.
I am
without-
watching your video right about now.
Jack,
Oh,
Jack,
the
if you
Zion.
bought my Hex, which I'm selling again,
It's a tarot.
no, it's not. It's a DJI.
Zemuse.
Yes,
one.
it's MU's free, so you could buy that off me if you want. If you buy the whole copter, you can have that.
Those were crazy expensive as well.
I know it cost me £300 just for the bloody gimbal.
Gimbal,
I'm
yeah.
selling the whole hexacopter at the mini air show for 300. So
Pretty nice for whoever gets it.
yep.
$253. For $300, you can buy the same microscope as Stranger Things on YouTube, by the way. Gearbest, 217 quid.
Why
Not that
are,
you've been looking.
why are you after a gimbal? Anyways, what for?
Curry Kitten, would you like to answer that before I have like some sort of nervous breakdown?
I think this is the gimbal that's been with him since the dawn of time, and he
No,
hasn't
I've
got
had-
around to it.
I've had one Alex Moss, I've had one Storm 32 original board, and then I've had 3 gimbals, none of them worked.
Yeah, it takes. But what are you needing to stabilize footage for though? No one really uses them anymore.
Well, Jack's made and designed a big drone that he's flying.
I no way designed it. Like I drew loosely on a bit of paper, and Dan Upton finished it.
Yeah, I tried a lot of gimbals, and the Zion was the only. I think the Taro ones are supposed to be pretty good as well. I never got to try the Taro one, but
The only person I saw with the tarot one was Adam Juniper, and I never really got to see any footage.
Tarot ones has been quite popular. I've seen a couple of people mount them upside down on the top of big wings, and they get some really impressive footage. Although it looks a bit weird because you see the wings sort of dancing around in front of it as it's bouncing around on the wind.
Yep, I know build.
Richard Harwood said, "Is there a sale stand at the show to get shot of gear?" Yes, there is a bring and buy.
Yep, David Allen is running a bring and buy. So there's going to be a few tables set aside. And there's going to be, so if you've been to Western Park or any of the other model shows like that, you've probably seen a similar format. where there's the raffle tickets. So you bring along your thing you want to sell. You let them know the price. You swap it for a raffle ticket. They'll then try and sell it during the day, and at the end of the day, you come back with your raffle ticket and swap it back for either the cash that you've asked for or your stuff that hasn't sold, depending on whether it's sold or not.
I'm having a super slut sale.
So that is
Do you guys take a cut to help raise for mini air show?
not for mini air show, but for
Popham.
the Hampshire Air Ambulance.
That's pretty cool.
Yay.
Pretty good.
So we're
Pretty
gonna
good cause.
support them.
Yeah, nice one.
Always nice to be supporting the local air ambulances.
Frank, mini air show related. Can you explain to me what is the oddball and the posh French phrase exactly?
Concourse
what are you looking for in
d'élégance.
there?
Yeah. So concourse is quite common at like general meetups of full scale stuff. So you bring along your things nicely polished and show it off, and someone goes around and says, "That looks very nicely polished," and here you go, have a medal.
Oh no, it's not like the Porsche executives, do they? Where they, like they start unscrewing like hubcaps and making sure you got no dirt under there. And
well, I don't think we're going to go into that level of detail. We're just going to grab a few judges and see which one they're most bowled over by.
And is this quads or planes or anything that flies?
Anything that flies. I mean, if someone's got a really fancy ground station, maybe that'll take someone will take a liking to it.
That doesn't fly unless you throw it at Jack's head.
That's what I mean. It doesn't have to necessarily fly.
I might bring Colin
fancy
the
kit
sheep.
if you've built something very nice.
Get him to fly.
Well, what? So I could bring something nice that I've bought.
That
Anything
you've built.
Oh, I haven't built anything in my whole life.
Well, maybe that's not the competition for you.
No, I think I'll duck on that one.
I'm gonna show something on camera that's very titillizing. Look at this. Oh,
But I have no idea what that is.
very fine 23 AWG silicone modding wire. Like,
Why?
just would you, Frank? What?
Jack's just going to bring some wire to the mini air show.
This doesn't do it for you.
Why do you want 23 AWG or whatever it was?
Well, SWG probably. It's for modding things. It's the nice. This is what you wish the Free Sky, smart cables are made out of. It's just really nice for like your receivers, making jumper wires, modding things.
Okay.
You're
being called a noob in the chat.
Wire porn.
Warren Sunday asked earlier about about the track for the relay race. So yes, it is in the netted area at the drone zone, but don't worry, we have addressed the issues that there were at the Queen's Cup. So there's a little mound and some trees and things that gave you some terrible signal before we've taken matters into our own hands, and we've modified the track so that there's some, instead of all being gates on the ground, there's some raised gates around the back there so that you're not trying to fly behind a bit of ground and bushes and trees and things that stop you from getting any signal. So we now have decent signal all the way around, which makes it better. So that will be a lot better.
Cool.
See?
Green Patches has asked if it's all electric or has nitro gases. So the University of Southampton is bringing along massive 3D printed long range endurance, whatever it is. I can't remember the very fancy bit of kit, and that's got 2 petrol engines on it. So that will be making a lot of noise.
Yeah, nab that and charge off it later.
Also, the other thing that, because I can see Warren's still talking about the track. So the pits, we've actually got some staging that's going to be set further back. So we'll actually have everyone raised up a bit as well. And there's going to be, so there'll be the space. It's all going to be fenced off. So there's more space than there was previously. It's going to be further back from the track. So good signal, no problems.
Good.
Yay! So Frank's mind is slowly like not melting away. Surely, Curry Kitten, you've got some oddball things there to fly.
I've got your quad. Does that count?
Yeah, good
Bring
enough.
that in.
With the dodgy gimbal.
Uh,
If only we could get that done.
yeah, not without a new motor, I think. I'd like to be 100% on it, but because it won't initialize, it's a bit tricky. But I believe that's it, because just explain the problem to everybody. So the tilt axis was fine. On the pit, the roll axis, it would go about this far, but if you went past it, there was this point either side of the motors where it would just give this shake, like it was this really weird, weak portion, and we couldn't fathom it. We went through pid tuning forever, putting various strength into it, and it was all fine except when it got to this bit. So I suggested we could just fly it, but do really slow circles, like this much. But no,
I'm gonna
Only go left.
oh, all right, just not very fast. No big turns, small turns.
Shall we post up the RC groups thread, or just the video?
They can look at the video if they want to, or the thread. They can welcome to
Paste, enter. There you go. I don't know whether it will work because we're not. Maybe I should give it to you, Frank, to post.
Andy, have you got more stickers to give out? Because I know you were running low.
Yeah, I haven't got many. I had a chap that made a small run for me. I think only about 30, and I've given a lot of them away. So I'm not going to have many to give out. But I know a couple of people have specifically asked if they can have one. So I'll take all I've got, and then yeah, I'll have to have some more made, or find a way to have some more made.
Just a handshake with the Andy RC will suffice.
Yes, we'll have the sticker swap as well. We've got a special box made up, especially for stickers to be swapped from into.
Your older quad, if you feel the need to upgrade. What the?
Yeah, the problem with the Storm 32 stuff is it's so old now, and everyone's like probably moved on to like DJI and stuff, and so it'd be probably difficult to get support for it. I mean, I've forgotten everything I know. We just like a couple of years ago when I was doing it on the channel.
Yeah, I'm sure eventually, like that's what happened. If you want an aerial platform, you're just like, you know, you just get told to go to DJI.
Yeah,
and you know, because you get so much bang for your buck, and
it is true. That's what people have done, and that kind of technology is sort of stopped. Actually, it's moved to like the mobile phone industry, like people wanting to stabilize their mobile. You get a lot of those, but not so much gimbals for copters, because people realize that by the time you've spent all of the money to get a nice setup, you could have bought a Phantom, and that's the conclusion I came to when I looked at, you know, the 450 that I built, and the Pixhawk, and you know, all the video gear and a transmitter, and then the fact that the legs had to retract to get out of the way of the camera. All of that costs way more than you can get like a Mavic for.
Can you shut up? I'm trying to sell a bloody video show.
Don't buy Tony's crappy hex. Rubbish.
My hexcopter is for sale for £300.
And that's why Tony has a Phantom instead.
the other thing that
As well.
Are you selling the Phantom then, Tony?
he
No.
can't. You
Why?
can't because there was an incident that
It's fine now, Jack. Let's move on.
that I will bring up in the LDO bonus live pod there.
Oh, I actually forgot we're doing a show live, aren't we?
Yeah, guys, we might want to hang out one evening and write material to.
Right material? What are you talking about?
We never write material. We just go live and just go off the top of our heads.
I hope. Oh man, it's so different. I'm warning you guys. If you don't do it, it's gonna be painful because
Well,
I find it so hard to
Well,
speak in front of
go
people.
go ahead, Jack.
Don't do it then. I mean, the whole day is going to be, hanging out with people anyways. By the end of the day, you're going to be struggling for.
I'm going to be drunk. I don't care.
Yeah, that's it. Tony.
Cheers.
Tony's going to be there, like with the projector, playing videos of me in the shower. He's having a great old time.
Yeah, where someone asked earlier about whether there's going to be screens for the spectators. Yes, we're not going to have the massive video wall we had a couple of years ago because I don't know how Dom managed to wangle that one. But we are going to have a wealth of screens around the place, thanks to Binary Throttle.
When you say screens, you mean showing the FPV feed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have invested in a couple of these fancy bits of kit.
This is what keeps Andrew / Frank awake at night.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Talk about the cables.
the cables. Oh yeah, I've made an order today of of 400 meters of cable. So yeah, there's lots of cabling going on, lots of fancy things going on that you probably won't even notice, but it'll be there, making things look extra shiny. Fingers crossed.
Guess who's we've got a visitor. Hang on, we've got a guest on. I've managed to wangle a guest at the very last 15 minutes. For some reason, I'm going to watch this Andy RC.
Bradders has got
Gimbals.
Bradders has got loads of screens that he can.
No, he's meant to be bringing me some screens.
Yeah, I want some
bugger.
screens as well, Bradders. And
Bradders.
and G Dog wants some screens. He's got like 40 of them.
G Dog's rich.
Right.
G Dog can buy as many screens as he wants.
Yeah, but there's nothing like free stuff.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know. Yeah, or free stuff from Bradders that flickers.
There's nothing like free stuff.
This is quite a good excuse for people to bring along their family, even if they don't want to come, on the pretense that they can watch it as well and they don't need Fat Sharks or whatever.
And there'll be loads for the spectators. There's going to be the screens. There'll be the displays that's on the main field. There'll be the pub quiz and all the food and drink and other stuff to wander around and have a look at. It's what it's there for. At the end of the day, is to try and celebrate all the good sides of drones and try and present something presentable to people. So
That's why you brought us along.
And meeting people and having fun.
yes.
I'm just looking forward to meeting everyone.
We've got a visitor introducing our new guest, Mr. Dom Robinson.
What are you doing letting me on here?
I know.
You nutcase.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. You're moving to USA soon.
No, that's not happening. Brexiteers messed that up for me.
Yes, we're stuck with him.
Yes. Call me a Ramona. I'll call you a quitter.
So you,
How you doing, chaps? How you doing, Andrew? More to the point, I know how you feel.
you've been here a couple of times before.
I bet you're cursing the fact that I'm not moving to America.
Well, but maybe that means you'll have time to help out again next year.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll have time to fly one day. I haven't flown since I last saw you, I think.
Wow.
That was a while ago. That was,
It was a
before
while ago.
when we were still looking for a place to put the mini air show this year.
Yeah, indeed. I need to blag somebody to recondition my quad, Jack.
Fine. Just come and visit me. You've got a hoodie as well. And I've got your speed.
My Speedos, I knew I was left them somewhere.
I know.
Jack in Speedos. That's
Oh, that's
pay-per-view, that is.
It's paper, not view.
Yeah. That's probably right.
Please don't show me that. I'll give you money.
Yeti in Speedos. Have you seen the new Yeti motors? Sponsored by Jack.
Sponsored by Jack. No, don't say stuff like that.
Okay.
I think I've got them on my fossil. I've got a 1996 fossil here. Genuine.
I know. I just finished building one for Adam.
What do they look like these days? Have they changed the frames again? I haven't seen a fossil since, well, mine.
We've got the S1 now, Smoky S1.
Is that enormous thing?
No, that's the X class.
You got a Smoky S1. How big is that then?
5-inch frame, carbon fiber.
Fantastic. I need to fly. Someone needs to come and like just take me out, make me fly at some point.
I was thinking about trying to get down Monday because it's bank holiday this Monday, isn't it? Try to maybe go to HV.
For the same reason I'm not there on Saturday, I will be the wrong side of the Atlantic for Monday, I'm afraid.
Oh, man.
I thought you said you weren't emigrating.
No, I'm only going
no,
out on lots of short trips now instead. I've got to just get out there a lot. But thank God for Norwegian, proper flying. Really cheap flights. I should be sponsored by them.
And Wi-Fi on board, if I remember.
They've got more to the point. You can unpay for everything you don't want, get a cheap flight, and nobody wakes you up in the middle of the flight. It's brilliant. Just have to stuff yourself with minstrels in the airport.
I'm
How
going.
are you feeling then, Andrew? You must be knackered, mate. You must be full of spreadsheets and data and questions and answers. And
I have 2 spreadsheets open at the moment. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I have taken next week off to deal with it.
Oh, bless.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Bless you.
Oh my God. I think there's a jacket potato on the
there's
cards.
quite a few people coming down to help out on Friday. I know I've spoken to Rich. He's took the day off. I've took the day off, so I'm going to be there. Rich is going to be there. I think there's quite a few people going to be there on the Friday to help you out. So
that was when all the volunteers turned up for the first 2 mini air shows on the day before, after everything was done.
On this note, if I am going to put out recruitment for the next mini air show at this mini air show, so if anyone does feel like they would be up for knowing all what's going on and seeing all behind the scenes and helping out for the next one, in all the kind of messaging people, PR, organizing schedules and budgets and all this kind of thing, you know, whatever skills you've got, I'm sure they can be used somewhere. So if you do want to help out with Team Mini Air Show, then do drop me a line either through the Facebook page, so facebook.com/miniature air show, or you can obviously search for Team Mini Air Show, or through the website, so miniairshow.co.uk, and there's a contact page and you can email us through there. Yeah, just drop us a message. And
how does a mini air show make money for the mini air show? So making money for this mini air show make money for next mini air show. Is that how it works?
So yeah, we hope to end up with a bit of a pot of money at the end of each one to sort of start the next one going. So we managed to do that last year. Fingers crossed we'll manage to do that again this year.
So it doesn't make any money for anyone. It just makes money for itself for the next time.
Yes, it's purely voluntary, purely non-profit. There's a whole constitution if you really want to go through it. Yeah,
so this blows Tony's mind.
There's like legal documents and everything if you really want to go there.
No, I just think it's a good thing that the money made will make sure that next year happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
and the other thing is, we're being heavily helped out this year by the people at Popham, the Spitfire Club. So what they really want to see at the event is lots of people hanging around and enjoying themselves. So even if you don't buy a ticket and you just want to come along and have a look around and see what's going on, and just like I think Carrie Kitten said earlier, grab your family, grab your friends, grab anyone you can, bring them along, and just kind of fill the place up, make it, give it a good atmosphere. We'll all be having fun anyway.
Support your flying sites.
Yeah.
I'm gonna invent a late night evening game where I have a transmitter of undisclosed wattage, and it has find the sausage.
I don't like this game.
And then you plug this screen. You know, you can tune into it on channel 1, and the game is to find the sausage.
Jack sounds like he's used this game for different reasons. In
Yeah.
Richard Warwick in the chat asked if there's plenty of car parking. Yes, there is. I mean, the weekend. So this weekend coming up, the weekend before the mini air show, they're holding the British Microlight Association meetup where 3,000 people are turning up.
I thought you were going to say the British car parking meetup.
Yeah,
We got 3,000 people in here.
Did anyone after this story? Sorry, Frank.
But yeah, so there's loads of room. There's no worry about filling the place up with too many cars. And the other thing is, we have like roads and tracks and car parks that won't destroy cars. So that's
Boo!
there's no need for you to drive your Jimny all the way up there.
Oh, that's boring. How are you going to get sponsorship out of the RAC?
Wasn't there one flatbed recovery for a Golf?
It was for. Did you miss the one for the? What year was it? We had the caravan, the motorhome. Was that 2 or 3? There was an entire bloody motorhome that fell off the flatbed, and then the flatbed had to be recovered by a bigger flatbed. It was insane.
No way, you're kidding
I drove
me.
my Type R down that road very, very slowly.
Yeah, you should have got a lift in Brad's van. He's got no idea of driving slowly down there.
No, I know. It's just a cloud of dust.
Several thousands pounds worth of damage. Can anyone confirm this? But like, it might be just like some sort of urban legend. But has anyone ever heard about the Bristol Zoo parking attendant who apparently installed his own parking meter and policed it every day, and then one day he didn't show up, and they were like, "Where's the parking guy?" So they phoned the council, and they were like, "What parking?" And it turned out that this guy had like made his own job, installed a parking meter by himself. I don't know how true this is, but yeah, they phoned up and it turned out that this guy just took off with all the money.
Isn't that what NCP do?
Yeah, pretty
much.
Yeah, bless them.
That's true, Jack. No way, someone else has heard of that as well. I heard that story. Genius.
I've not heard of that one.
Someone's asked, is there a shower block?
And also asked about the toilet situation there.
Toilet situation. There will be portaloos very visible, but if you speak to the right people very nicely, we might point you to the way to the actual toilet block. That's for part of the cafe that's there. So if you help out and volunteer, we might show you where things are that make things even more comfortable.
Rich, are you from Brazil? No, he's like no, he's not from Brazil. Mikey Dread, far from it. He is the fire marshal on the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've forgotten about that.
Do we know if David's coming? Yeah, at all?
I don't know. I tried to talk to him today, but he's in the midst of death throes with a Kickstarter knife project, and he's in Italy at the moment.
Oh, right. Okay.
For the last few days, so he'll get back, see how he feels, and then go from there, I believe.
Cool.
So yeah, Rich is definitely up for being fire marshal. He says I'm on it.
Is it going to be a musical fire marshal?
Probably.
Yeah, I suppose.
Probably. I hope we do have some sit around sing song. I know we got music and all that lot supplied all night, but I hope we have a little campfire sing along with maybe NJ and Andy and Rich, because Rich has wrote a song about this. So
will people be able to throw lipos into the fire to get it going better?
Yes.
After the race, just like just now.
Bring your dodgy lipos.
Oh, I've got loads of lipos that are about to explode. Can I bring them?
Yeah.
Make that a new Facebook post. Bring your lipo to the bonfire event.
Oh no!
Are we
You're
allowed
meant
a
to be
bonfire?
recycling them, you savages.
Are we allowed fire pits or anything like that? Actually, we might as well ask.
They are
what is it?
allowed. I mean, they obviously don't want you setting the whole place alight, but
No.
in the
That's all
camping
right,
area, they're happy with it. They're perfectly
Okay,
fine with
cool.
barbecues and things.
So we can
I'll
bring.
see
a
if I'll see if
bonfire.
Martin can bring you a tree you can burn.
No. Last year he dragged a tree with a tractor, and that fire was absolutely
insane.
massive.
I did.
Melt your face off.
On one of the site surveys, I did spot a little pile of what looked like firewood in the corner of one of the airfields, and I was like, could we maybe no?
Borrow that? No. I think fire pits would suffice.
It'll all kind of dissolve into the field, I'm sure.
You can burn all the paperwork from the legals with HV. That'll be a big enough fire.
The bastards.
Yeah, you can barbecue, I believe.
Yes.
I just said bastards. Oh, well, I said it again.
Beep. We have got first aiders. We have got a whole ambulance on site. So
Is there any women first aiders? Because I feel a heart attack coming on right now.
Tony's like literally throws himself at I need medical attention. I'm having a medical crisis.
oh dear.
Yeah, we always need first aiders because Jack finds new and ingenious ways to get ill at any occasion.
I know. You go away on holiday to Wales and it's like, oh, hold on, guys.
You need to take a stop at the local hospital, of course.
Yeah, just got to stop in here.
I might as well not book an Airbnb. I might as well just stay at the hospitals.
Yeah, to be fair.
What else do we need to cover? How's Popham looking, Tone?
I'm just checking it now. Hold on.
Sorry, this is a thing now.
I'm going live on Popham.
Dom, how you been, man?
I've been
what's going on?
Popham is clear.
Juggling 2 webcasts at the moment. I'm just chatting in the Thursday night show chat room as well. It's like your mate Danger's been playing, Andrew.
Yeah.
So filled the chat room up over there. So do come over there a bit later on if you fancy some old school.
What's on tonight, Dom?
Danger's playing at the moment. You've got the weird and wonderful David Divinal, who is almost as strange and leather underwear as Jack. He's on at oh god, I'm reading the wrong country's time zone there. He's on at 11 o'clock. No, he's on now. He's just going live. There he is. He's just gone live. Then you've got Digit 3, who'll be playing, I don't know, house and millennial music that I don't understand, and then I'm going to play old school jungle and hardcore.
Millennial music.
I'm good. What time are you playing old school stuff?
I'm playing at 11. You will love it. I have got an absolute Fantasia orientated set.
I start like tripping out and stuff.
Dom, are you a boomer or a Generation X?
I'm halfway between the two.
Oh, I think you'd be awkward.
What's boomer? Boomer's what? No. Boomer's like up till 71 or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm 73.
I'm 74, Dom.
There you go. So
Tony.
yeah, you were at Stearns, Tony. You were at Stearns, right?
I was at Hastings Pier. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, Fusion important.
Fusion, Hastings Pier. Yeah.
Do you remember the fire breathers at Fusion?
Yes.
That was me.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was my first gig after school. I set up as a fire juggler at raves because no one else was doing it.
Oh, mate, remember the Fusion jackets and all that? Oh,
yeah.
Wicked. Oh, I'm listening to that from 11. You say?
From 11, yeah.
Sweet.
It's going to be good.
Dom awkwardly realizes that Tony's talking about 1778 where fire was first invented.
Excellent. Yes, I should be wearing my full ruff.
I've got my shell suit on from the market.
You're still wearing it, mate.
Remember that £6 from the market shell suit. Gitty. Don't get her a bloody match near me. I'll go up like, oh.
I'm going to find a link I've got somewhere buried on my Facebook page, which is
what are they talking about?
Somebody's archived all the mixtapes, all the DJ mixtapes from Stearns. They're awesome. Anyway.
So yeah, they're talking about a time, like we live in BC. They're talking about AD, like Anno Domini. Time of darkness.
Why isn't someone else talking about this?
It's because we're old, Tony.
Yeah, but there's someone
Really?
else who I think might be the same age as us.
They don't understand the connection between a biro and a cassette.
I know.
I have no idea about
Hence-
that.
Pencil, you
man.
savage.
I'm
Pencil
actually
cassette.
the
Even I
oldest
know about
person
that.
here.
Come
I
on,
know it's hard to believe.
Curry Kitten. What? Come on, you must know what we're talking about.
No, he's got a life.
I've forgotten all that. I certainly do go back to the old little winding the tape round with
with a pencil.
with the pencil. I showed a funny thing. If you look at the generation now, they're even worse. I showed my daughter the movie The Sixth Sense, which of course everybody knows. But there's a scene in that where they discover this clue, and it's a videotape, and they open up the box like it was a big surprise, and you go, "Oh!" And my daughter just said, "What's that?"
Excellent. Tell her that you need to put them out under a roller and flatten them, and then they become DVDs.
Yeah, the idea of like not being able to skip to the next track, or in fact having like 2,000 tracks on the little thing this big, is just what happened?
I listened to the same 9 tracks for a year and a half.
Yeah, it was
On a
too much
looping
hassle to
cassette.
change it on an LP, wasn't it? Or fast forward it on a cassette tape.
Untangling it with a long thread from the cassette recorder in the front of the dashboard.
You don't know what you missed, Jack.
I do. I remember it. I even know about tape splicing, tapes splicing as well, with the special tape and everything.
Yeah, well done.
Shush you, Tony. I've got a valve amplifier sat next to me.
I know.
Admittedly, I'm not very musically popular after playing Nightcore the other night. Tom, I'm really sorry about that.
Your first chord was Clockwork, wasn't it, Jack?
Yeah, that's it. I know. I'm not that like naive, Tony. I just didn't attack dinosaurs like you did. That's why you're vegan. You've seen the horrors of.
Couldn't catch it. You couldn't run fast enough.
I'm just going to ignore you, idiots.
Is it time to call it?
Yeah.
Probably, because we've gone off subject for about
Sorry.
10 minutes.
Andrew, totally all power to you, and good luck next weekend, mate.
Thank you.
More Andrew than me. I haven't done much organising. I'm going to help out on the Friday a lot.
Guys,
I didn't say all power to you, Tony.
I'm going now.
Just do what Andrew says, yeah?
I will.
That's rule number 2. Don't piss Frank off.
If anyone wants like a lot of kudos from me, please hang around on the Sunday and help up with the tidy up. That's probably the most terrifying part of the entire event for me at the moment. So yeah, Friday setup, brilliant. You fly around and hang around on the Sunday and help clean up. Would be ace. Thank you.
And don't forget about Crash Test FPV. He's going to be bringing you guys alcohol on request. We have a butler.
That is excellent news.
Yeah, lovely man. Right, thank you. You've been tuned into Let's Drone Out. Sorry it went off topic so badly, but you know there is more to life than quads.
If you've come here for us to stay on topic, you've come to the wrong place.
Yeah. Feel free to unsubscribe or whinge and moan. Can I say piss and moan in the comments below? Please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, then unsubscribe. Or subscribe, then comment, moan, then at Tony, then unsubscribe. Tell all your friends. We have been joined in the chat by Green Patches, Mikey Dread, Mikey FPV, Yodel Adams, Curry Kitten, Wayne Davis,
Gail.
Yep, Gail, Dom, Rob Britton, Crash Test FPV, Isle of Mole,
Green Patches,
Binary Throttle, Bradders, UC Word, Bill M, Droning On, lots of people, too many people to mention. Sunday, and tonight in the chat we've been joined by the organizer and solo runner of not the mini air show but some sort of drone event,
MA4 at Popham Drone Zone. I'll have you know. Bye, Team Mini Air Show.
Andrew/Frank.
Goodbye.
And we hope he feels better, Andy RC.
Good night, everyone.
Be joined by the original inventor of the mini air show, Don Robinson.
To do that, don't I? Sayonara. Yeah, there we go.
Helps if you turn your microphone on.
No, basic technology, yeah.
Processional. Him having to go at me just because I didn't plug the right cable into the right thing.
Yeah, but it was an XLR into the wall, so that's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's it. It had 3 pins. It should count. And Curry Kitten.
Goodbye.
And my little kitten.
Au revoir.
And I've been Brian Till I Fly, Jack.
Have you missed out Andy again?
No,
No.
it did me.
Hoped you felt better.
No, it did me.
I always,
Okay.
always make sure. He's just quiet. He's not feeling very well. Eat properly, Andy RC. If anyone does know Andy's address, please feel free to deliver food to him. Thank you and good night.
Peace.